Hello, and welcome to another video. Just need to push the right keys to get this back on. Welcome to another video. So I believe in the last one, the stats on the server was showing that it was failing lots. I've now fixed that problem, and perhaps we can have a look. So the gist is, when you get a poll up, you may actually get it at the same time as a poll in, and what that means does not mean that the connection is dead. It means if we look at man poll, and I will make this bigger and maybe make that bigger. So if we look at poll up in the man page, this one is the one. Hang up. When reading from a channel, such as a stream socket, this merely indicates that the pair closed its end of the channel. So we have to read from the so read will only return 0 only after we read everything on the channel. So basically there could be still data there for us to read. So we basically keep reading until we get a 0. Easy. And so that now does that, and I guess we could do like a little test to see like what this is doing. I feel like it's going slower than what it was before. Like if we look in our log, I like took a time thing here at 1 minute 45 seconds for 100k, and now I'm getting like 4 seconds, which seems not good. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not too sure what the gist is, and we are running this with 4 servers on the back end and 4 servers on the front end. And if we have a look-see at what's happening when we do it, we can see the server is there and the client is there, and it's doing some stuff. And yeah, it takes like 4.5 seconds. Unsure what that is. I do note that we're still polling on average a very small amount. So on the client we're getting 540, but on the server we're only getting like 2, which this seems odd, I guess. But I guess the only thing for it is to maybe just get rid of poll. What do we reckon? We can just go like that. It's gone. It'll probably complain. We'll maybe skip to like where we do this. So we're now going to start using e-polled. We can keep some of the things the same, but now we're going to be going e-poll weight. It's just what it is, weight. And this is going to be e-poll weight, something like that. Cool. What else do we need to do? Maybe I'll get this a little bigger. So if we go back to what ePoll wants, we don't need any of this NFTs biz admit. All we really need is a file descriptor. So if we look at this, what we can do is we can just have an ePoll FD, and that is all we really need. What I'm going to do is get rid of these 2 panes, just because I forgot that I've still got a tendency to push escape then J or K. It's just the thing I do. Anyway, we now no longer need those 2 things, so that's kind of cool to get rid of. So here we can kind of, I don't know, just do something like that. This is going to be something different. So I guess what we do, this is when we're adding a new connection. What we want to do is do something like equal CTL, I believe it is. And we pass in file descriptor, which is the epo.fd. And then we pass in operation, which is we want to add something. Then we pass in the file descriptor, which is the brand new file descriptor we just got. And then we give it an event. Now, the event kind of tells us how things are done. So, event is described there, data member of this. Cool. So we kind of get something back from this. So epo event, if we have a little look-see at this, this is basically the thing that we look for, and we basically want to set the events to be something. Like, what does this kind of tell us? I have forgotten roughly how to do it, but yeah, so the events we given stuff like poll in, e-poll in, and e-poll out, and we can go e-poll pry. So these are very similar. We also have some additional things for epoll at and epoll one shot, which we might have a little look at some point. Maybe not just straight away though. But anyhow, what we want to do is we want to get the context epoll fd, and we want to do an epoll. Nah, none of those Y1. I kind of want what it said equals CTO add. So equal CTO add. And the file descriptor we have is this. And what I want to do is actually add, it's kind of interesting. Because what we can do is what we need to have a structure epoll event, and we can pass in a structure here. And it wanted this to be like pointed to that or something. I believe that's kind of what we want. And here we basically define what it is. And perhaps here I can actually make the whole event just so it's a bit clearer. So the event we want. So I guess CTO, that's the one I want. Need to remember which things have what. So the event data structure, event, we can have like a PTR, and this can be just connection. So the data is kind of returned to us, and there's a few different ways that we could get the data out. So if we have a look at epoll data, it's a union, it's not a structure. So if you set one of these, it will kind of set all of them at the same time, and they will overlap. So you could either just set the file descriptor, and then when you get back this event, you say, cool, that's the data descriptor. Or you can pass it a pointer. Now, if you pass it a pointer, you could just pass it a connection object, which is kind of what I've done here. But what I kind of want to do is make another thing. So like, I don't know, where was our connection? Like, where do you come from? You're all the way up here. So what I kind of want to do, I want to do something quite drastic. Because what do we have maps for? We only have a map for this connection thing. I'm just going to get rid of it. We now no longer have a map. Don't need it. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to have a structure, and this is going to be basically a thing connection. Does something like that. And I guess here we also kind of need to have a file descriptor. And this is going to be a epo tag, I'll call it. And we also want a epo tag t, and this can be epo tag arena t, and we can kind of get stuff out of that using our same arena type thing. Now, I guess I also want to have something like a enumeration to say what type it is. So we can kind of do that, and I guess because I've done that, I'll just do that again. And so the types that this can be could be a timer, it could be a connection, or it could be a listen birth. And what I might do is put the listener up first and then the timer, then do that. And is that kind of what I need to do for an inline enumeration? I don't know, I'll find out. So anyway, when we next kind of get this, what I want to do is also get a so this kind of has the smell, and I kind of noticed it last time. I've got that thing. What I might do here is do something like this, and I think I want to do something like this and do that, and then do something like this. Do something like that, and then if connection is not equal to null, then do that thing. And here I kind of want to do a connection and epo tag, and just do that same thing. And then we will kind of free up memory if there was an error. The escape's not triggering for some reason. So, because of that, we probably also need to say that we've got a epo tag t, and this is going to be epo tag. Please. My escape is not triggering for some reason. I think I know why, actually. So I'll talk it through, because I think some people might find it interesting. It's actually completely unrelated to the code I'm working on. So what I'll do is make a new thing. So in the tmux conf, down the bottom, I've recently added a few new things. These ones here, and I think this is what is happening. Tmux, on reception of an escape, it actually waits to see what the next character is, because that could be that. And I wonder, yeah. And that's purely because I decided to make it so I can use alt up and down, because I'm like, hey, nothing actually uses these keys. But yeah, that would probably be that. And I wonder whether I disable the stream, but I will not. I'll persevere, because I'll try and see whether it's actually good. So we want to do this thing again and make sure we have an arena. So when we get a connection, I also want to do this, and we don't have it there, but we can do connection and epo tag, and that's what we want. And so here we can go epo tag connection equals our connection. And we can also probably say that the type equals equal connection. We might do it like that. And these can be we do something like this equal that. Just to say what it is, because this is what we're going to get out of this little object, which we'll get this, we'll check what type it is, and based on what type it is, we will then do a thing depending on what type it is. Cool, so that was all there. So we'll basically set that easy, and then we'll do all the things. And it kind of means that we don't actually need a file descriptor on the connection object, and I wonder if that is the case. But now, because we've done that, we can give this a pointer to our ePol tag. And what was the other thing it wanted? So this was data, and yes, please. And events was going to be ePol in. I believe that is roughly what I want. So now if I get there, and then I can just go EV, all that. So that means we need to call it that. And it feels like I haven't eaten lunch, but I did eat some lunch. So I don't know. Cool. So this might return some errors. Like everything in C land. So we would want to maybe kind of mention it. And I just realized this. We don't want to do that anymore. That's cool. And this is all cool because we're still doing this. ePol CTO, and we'll say that it is adding. Just so we kind of know what mod that we were doing, I guess. And then we can do a return defer exit failure. Perfect. So at this point here, we don't need to do this. We basically done the equivalent of this. And we also don't need to do this. We've done the equivalent of it, so to speak. And if it was an error, we will kind of clear up things. But otherwise, it's all like that. Where next? Oh, look at that. We've got some errors. So we don't have a map because that doesn't have a thing. So we need to include sys-epol. So we can do epol. Need to know how to do epols, right? So now when we do a handle child, we could kind of do it here, I think. Nah, so we need to... Yeah, so I think here I actually want to pass in the epol fd, if that makes sense. And then we don't have this, we don't have this. We might get pass epol tag arena, epol tag arena. I think we need to kind of get past that in if we're gonna have the status as well. Well, I guess we can actually just stick with this, and we can replace that with that. Perfect. So it basically means that to start with, we kind of need to set up some things. So we will have an ePol tag t, and I kind of want maybe we can do a global replace for ePol tag, and I just want to replace it with tag. You're it. So this can be equal. Now to start with, we need to get a new one. So arena new. We'll pass it in the tag arena. How do we do this arena new? We kind of do something like that, all right. And we do want to dereference it. Perfect. So we'd get the tag, and we would just pass it the tag arena like that. Perfect. So at this case, this point here, we now want to do a like a ePol CTO thing, and we'll pass it the ePol FD. We would now want to say we're doing the ePol add that one, and we're going to be adding the listen FD, and we're going to pass it some event structure. And if this is equal to -1, we can do a little error, ePol CTO, and listen. And perhaps that should be that way around. Yeah, and I think I want to get this one and actually say that it's a connection, just so I know what leads what. And if this is the case, we can return deeper exit failure. That is the case. I just realized that our handled listener, yeah, we don't really hear what happens from it. That was just a little thought. So at this point here, we have our tag. We can set our type to be listen that we, what do we call it? Yeah, I suppose ePol listener, ePol listen, and we can pass it the file descriptor of what am I doing? File descriptor is going to be the listen FD. This can be all the way up here. We need to do it after we get the arena, but if tag equal no, then we probably want to arena new, and this is a tag T, and we can close that off, and we can return defer this whole thing, exit failure. So if that is the case, then we'll do this. Otherwise, we will be doing things, and I think we need to do a free. That didn't go to the line I wanted actually, so let's get the right thing. So we need to do this, and this is tag arena. But what I think I want to do is do if tag not equal to null, then do that. And then when we get the defer, we can do that. We don't have a map anymore. And here we can. We never actually free those arenas. Yeah, I thought there was like an arena clear type thing. Yeah, there is an arena clear which should free up the allocations. It's interesting nothing has kind of complained at me for that. So perhaps if we go here, because we, no, yeah, basically we initialize this type thing, and we also do the other arena. We should do an arena there of tag arena, and also connection arena. Yeah, because we don't do it down here. Cool. So, what else needs happening up in here? Way back up here. Now we can kind of just not care that that may not be null. So, what's our EV going to be? So, equal event EV, and this is going to have events, and it's going to be equal. We want to listen, and our data.ptr is going to be our tag. And that is the way it is. Cool. So now we'll be listing on that. So that basically does this. And what we can do is almost like copy this thing and like perhaps make this null after there, and yank that, and then if timer FD is like that, we I don't know, can we do like a is that all you can do? Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. So now we can do one for equal timer, and you can say it is the timer FD, and this can be the timer FD. And they'll do the same as that. Perfect. So now we're doing an equal weight. Seems good. So we need to have a bunch of events. So I guess we deleted a thing, which was up here before, which was a struct equal. So in here we need to have a struct equal events, and this is just events, isn't it? Yeah, but this is going to be called events, and I'm going to call it whatever max events is, which I think we still have defined. Yeah, so it's up there. We can kind of do that, and I think I might zero initialize that. So now when we do the equal weight, this one, what do we need to do? Got a few things. Might just yoink that. Yoink that, and timeout negative is what we want. So here we kind of want to do stu. Like, I don't know, can you get that? Yeah, perfect. And epo FD, and this was events. Then we also had this, which was max events. Only allowed that many, and -1. Sleep forever. Cool. I'll do a quick compile check, see what we can get up to. Listen FD isn't done there. So I think I kind of want to do this. Is that what I want? Yes, I think this is what I want. We'll pass it the listen FD, and now we kind of have to have e poll FD, and it can start off being -1. And it kind of means that when we do this, we if e poll FD not equal to -1, we should close it. It is a file descriptor. Everything's a file descriptor, right? You can go up, I know, like up there. So when we were here, we can actually just go like e poll create 0. Is that what I want? No. Is it create 1? It is create 1. It's create 1, but we just want it with a 0 on it as our flags. It's just what it is. So we can pass in 0 flags, and if equal if b equal to -1, we can do a little p error on it. I just realized that's all good. That's all good. Perfect. We can just do e poll create 1 and just say what we were doing, but we should also do a return defer of exit failure. I think I want to do that thing. So we can do this, and all of these are like, I kind of need to unbind them now. So first off, we'll kind of get it. I'm getting a little sidetracked, I guess. So here we can do this, and like norm d to m, and I think this will not do what I wanted. Do I need to? Oh no, I see what I'm doing. D to m, do something like that, and then here we can do that one, and then do something like that. I guess we get rid of that white space just because it. Cool, and then we would go back to the start, and then for all of these, we'll do unbind, and we would make sure that we're doing it on the root. And so now if I do reload, do a reload, and now I think I'll get rid of that. And so now I believe my my escape is like super responsive, and I can do escape and an arrow with leisure. Perfect. So we've made an equal. That's what we do. Then we equal wait. I feel like this should be getting close. What do we want to pass around in our context? I would say we probably want to do our equal FD, Um, Probably. And we probably also want to do a tag arena. Except now I don't want to do equal underscore. I don't do that. Do that. Um, cool. And here, this is not right. But we can. This is going to be polled. So the good thing about this is ePoll will return you a contiguous array with all the file descriptors that have been alerted, like you've been polled about them. And it means you don't have to have a contiguous array of inputs. It's all done via a map or a set type nature. And it kind of means that you don't have to loop over as much. So with poll, like you kind of had to loop over the entire array of contiguous inputs to see, was there an event? But this, we don't actually have to loop over the whole lot. We have to loop over just what we need. So for that reason, we don't have this are events and nonsense. We do have like an FD, I guess. So we can get that out. And I think I will do a switch on events I.type. And here we can do, so we can have, so I kind of want, because I'm doing this, ePoll, this thing, I want these, but max types. But maybe it is. Oi, take me back there. Maybe I want max ePoll types, and then down here we can do a static assert that max enum types, and this is equal to 3 because unhandled ePoll types, tag types. Do something like that, and then that should like yell at me when things aren't right. So now we can do that ePoll listener. We also have a timer, and we also have a one more connection, and we also probably need a default. So if it was a so what's this going to be? Default, what do we do in default? We normally say reachable, and I think that's kind of fair. Unexpected type from unexpected ePoll tag type that, and it is events I.type. It's probably something I want to know about. So these also should do some breaks, maybe, and maybe something like that. Right, so what does our listener do? That one was actually like pretty easy going. We just do that. Here we don't have a map size, but I do wonder, do we care about whether we continue accepting or not? We can probably just go like that. So that was easy. If we have a timer, then we probably just want to do this thing. That's easy. And I guess after this, we can do a continue instead of a break. Because that is likely what we're going to be doing. Cool. So now we've basically done that. We don't need to do that. So now this is kind of where things go a little different. So here we would get the connection from the tag, and it's kind of still a bad thing if that's null. And if that is the case, then we would be doing probably all of this. And here we can maybe go up here and do that. So we have the file descriptor from up here. Still be doing the same handle read type thing. We don't have a map anymore. We can free the connection. We also want to free the tag. But what else do we want to do? We want to tell ePol to shut up about it now. So I think we can just go ePol CTL and ePol FD. We're going to be doing a ePol CTL, and we're going to have remove. Is that the code that I want? It's del. Not del, just the one del. Cool. So what happens at this point? For del, we don't really care about. We have to give the file descriptor, but we event description can be null, but C buttons below. We can just pass it a thing. So what's the file descriptor? It is that, and we can pass it just a pointer to whatever event that we're currently looking at. It's a valid pointer. Shouldn't break things. So that is the point. So I guess whenever we do a close, we kind of need to do that thing. Whenever we do an arena free of connection, we also probably need to do it on the tag. So the tag, when do we get it out? The tag, we should probably now this is so this needs to be data.pointer like that. And we're always going to have a pointer. So if tag equal null, then we have unreachable tag equal null. It is the case. And now FD is actually tag FD. And type, we can't really get the type. But maybe I'll do something like this. And this can be tag type. I guess we don't really need to worry about that, but we do need to make this tag type. And that way we actually have a tag that we can kind of look at. And then there is a connection there. So I guess in these cases here, wherever we do a close, we should probably do that and like not there. And this could be timer 50, sure. We never really complain about the listener, but perhaps we should at some point. Right, so in that case, we do that. We need to make sure that we kind of we do it down there. Perfect. So we don't have a map to worry about removing stuff from. That's all looking good. So this was from where I was kind of looking. So I believe I can kind of just yoink that. Now this did have this follow-up section if there was an error. Here is how do we know if it's in or an out, I guess. This this one, the event that we get back, does it? Beansfield is a bit more. Yes, cool. So we basically get the events in there. So where did I go? We wait. We do the status update. We look through everything that we do. If we're a listener, we do that. If we're a timer, we do that. And if we're a connection, we want to do if, well, even. So it's going to be a bit set, it did say. So this is going to be events. And like, what does it have? Whole event. So this is what it is. And so we're going to look at a uint32t, uint 32 even, t, event, and this is going to be events I dot event. I believe that's what I want. And then if we want if event and equal in not equal to 0, then we want to do a read. And so here we probably want to go all the way to that point. That wasn't where I wanted to go. I wanted to go here. And then here so now we've handled the read, and there was a error check. We don't really get that. Oh no, we do, don't we? Yeah. So I guess I have actually deleted some stuff that could be useful. So if we have a look at this, we have a look down at Ollie, where is it? So when we do a weight, when we are doing this weight, so we don't care about the listen and the primary FD because we know it's always going to be that, I guess. Can we have a look-see to see what I didn't actually commit after the last one, I think. Yeah, it's got some more stuff in than I had thought. Anyhow, we can kind of have a look-see at this. So, we can potentially just yoink that in this point. Yeah, that point there. And if this is the case, we would not have that. We would do a tag thing. We would also delete it from what we care about. And so this is going to be just event, and it's going to be like, so epo event told me in CCL, was it? And events could have epo error and epo hub. So there was another one that we were also checking for, inval. We don't have that because like if it's just an invalid descriptor. Cool. So something like that. Yeah, I think that's roughly what I want. And then the last one is just whether we can we just maybe like all of that. Cool. So if it was an output, and then that's like basically all we have to make sure that we get in. So if there was an error, we didn't have that. We want to kind of do that. We want to make sure that we remove it from the epo as well. If this is the case, we actually want to do these, not that. I thought I got that. So we kind of want to do an epo. This time we want to do a mod. And here we want to just maybe do something like this. And this is going to be epo, and then give it that same one back. And then if this is equal to -1, need to turn on heaters. No single heater. Starting to feel the old base and in generic areas of base. Anyhow, so we would have a thing here, and so this is when we're modding it to and maybe we can say connection, because it is what it is, and we can probably do a return defer. This is like a weird state. Otherwise, we've done it. So um, these other ones, I wonder if we do want to kind of shell them out. I don't think so. Cool. So we just want to. Oh, not that far, bud. Is it to there? No. Is it to there? Yeah, that'll do me. Cool. What do you look like now? We don't have static assert. We can. Is it just assert.h? Is that what we want? Oh no, there was a different error. Cool. We can't. Will you complain if I do that? Right? Potentially it will. I might just I don't want that there. I think it was that one. Yeah, right. Yeah, that was right. Cool. So we don't have this. That was deleting the thing. I did mean events. That is done with the del. Same there with the del. Same there with the del. So this is event. This is equal out. So do we have any? Can we do? So we don't have any polls. This is gonna go away. That's because of stuff down there. All right, so that's a different thing. Anyhow, polls. Do we never actually free that pose? Interesting. Anyhow, we don't actually need to. So that is fine. The del is there to do that. This is actually tag type. Right, so now we're down to the point where we need another kind of equal thing, but just for like just here. So I think I want to do int equal fd weighted, and this can be -1, and then here we can if equal fd weighted equal not equal to -1, we can close the equal weighted fd weighted is that one. Cool. So at this point here, we want to do kind of that EV equals. No, you had it. EB equals this bad boy. Kind of just want that. And like I'm doing that and that. Yeah, that's what I want. Cool. So this we kind of need to have a tag. Do we need to have a tag? So in this case, I think I won't do it. I'll just have no tag. And so that should be doing that. Pollen with E pollen. And this is like with PIDFT. So, where do we fail next? We don't have that. So this is actually equal FD. We were there. Cool. So get that again. So at this point here, we want this to be timer FD, and it's still just a poll in. And then yeah, that's that, and like maybe that, and then something like that. You took one more from me, and then we'll kind of want to copy that nonsense. And then down here, we don't have NFTs, so I think we just want to have something like that. So now this is ePol weight. And how do we call that? We do that sort of thing. So I guess we need to start the whole event, and this is going to be events, and we're just going to let it have max events. Perfect. This is going to be poll. It's not going to be a thing, and this is going to be events and data.fd. Yeah, so that's just getting that thing back out. And then we can do roughly the same code as before. Except here we're doing a funny like thing here, but what I want to do is search for Dell and get that thing. And this is, it was actually timer FD. But we can actually just call it FD. Cool. What next? We didn't save it. So this was reasons. This we also just want to kind of do that, but get this first. Do the same little thing, and that's that. Does it work? I wonder. Let's create a little server. We're not allowed to do that. I wonder. I do wonder whether the PIDFD Yeah, so I think we can't use e-weight here. So perhaps I could even just go back to the hold option just for this. Where are we now? No, there's like, yeah, that thing there. So what was the thing? I didn't want to do that. That can go away. So we just need to have that. Yeah, had to go a bit more than I kind of wanted. It's kind of annoying that we can't do that. So we do need a whole lot of heaps back just to run this. And I think if polls not equal to email, we want to repose. And now if I go down here, dress already in use. So I think I can do like a PQ, kill this one, but it's actually ASAN. Kill whatever was running because it's kind of interesting. It started a bunch of forks and then it aired it out after that, if that kind of makes sense. What does this do? So we can run the client, I guess. There we go. It's doing some things. It's not doing some things actually. Like it's just deadlocked, I guess. Frustrating. Um, so, what isn't it making it tick? So we should have a mod at some point when we mod the connection to the ePOL out. Now, do we have a ePOL out? We have it there, but we don't have it anywhere else. So when we make a new connection, we likely have, so in handle listener, we make a connection here and we set the type and do all that nonsense. And then here, we actually want to say we want to know when it's ready to write. Ready to write. So now if we do this and do that and then that and then run some things. Cool, we get some different errors. So that crashed the server. Interesting it printed dates as well. I'm not gonna lie. Like, do we have a printf somewhere? But like, I kind of want that printf. Now we do not have that one. Do we have that? So where does it fail? 507. Connection is null. Fun. So it's kind of annoying. Because it is an ePOL connection, so that must have gotten set at some point, so it must have set the connection to be that, which we get from the arena. Cool, fun. Debug time. So what we need to do is run that same server, but maybe just one forking copy, and we can that. And so what do I want to? I kind of want to just handle like where does we do that? No, where does equal weight happen? Right, so equal weight happens here. I kind of want to break on like this line here. So if I go break server.c and line 441, I decided. So if we get layout source, we can run this. So what do we have here? It should just have like the kind of the status. Yeah, so I think I want to oh no, yeah, that's cool. So we will be going through all these. We should get so maybe I'll do a display of events just see what we have going on with us. We have a pointer, it looks pointerish. Cool. We can do a display on tag. It looks like a thing. We can also do an undisplay, display 2. So we have an epoll timer. This is good. It does some things. We don't have any more. Cool. So what I want to do is kick off a connection, I guess. So if we just kick off a connection in the background, and we can kind of just go through here and do things. So to start with, it won't have happened in the first time. So we've still just got the timer, do that, got nothing more. We poll this. Now we should have more. So we should have 2 things. So if we go and do our stats, our first one is the timer, so go do that. Our second one should be the listener. So I'll step in and do this. And maybe do a display on tag, display on connection, and a display on start tag as well. And also EV. We don't have it yet, but it is what it is. Cool. So on all of these things, we should accept a connection. We've got a new connection. We make a new connection. We could probably even display the contents of that connection. We also make a new tag, importantly, and then we set the tag connection to be a thing. Cool, this is looking right. And we also say it's a connection. That's all looking right to me, you know. So importantly, I'm looking out for anything that will free that tag, which I think potentially happens at some point. Yeah, because at this point here, we don't go in. Cool. So that tag is still valid stuff. So I think I might do a display on like it's a tag T, and we will dereference whatever this one is, and it's a tag T type, and it's at 0x502. I'm like, can't read enough for that. It's this one. And then we would print that out. Cool. And we would also maybe want to print out a connection T. And this bad boy is at that address. And do that sort of thing. Cool. So we have a connection object, which looks legit. So at this point here, we should have that connection and it's still looking legit. And it's still looking legit. We do another poll. So at this point here, we should, where's the, yeah, at this point here. So we have a timer to start with. We'll do that stuff. And then we now have a connection, and we can see here it has it has an object in the tag. All right. So this shouldn't be null. Perfect. So what is our event? All right, I think that's equal out. So at this point here, we should be doing this, and yeah, so in this we wrote it. Yeah, file descriptor is not 0 there, buddy. So handle right passes in that file descriptor. Right, where do we get this FD from? FD we get all the way from tag.fd. Why is that? Let's get can we do that? Yeah. Golly, can you jump in GDB, man? So in frame 1 back here, why is FD 0 here? Because tag FD is 0. Oh, we never set the connection. All right. Yeah. And we'll need to kill that server. So when we Nexion, when we do this one, we also need to set the file descriptor to be Nexion. Well, we actually just have it, don't we? Which this makes me feel like we don't need it in connection. So in connection, can we just get rid of that? And at this point here, can we just get rid of that? And nothing's using it. So I feel like that is legit. So if we, like maybe if we just run it things like that. And if we just connect, that's looking good. I reckon there was 2 connections, 4 connections. That's somehow none. It's double counting. All right. Good stuff. So we need to be in that directory. Oh yeah, why is it double counting? Yeah, so that's definitely double counting. But we can see there it's still doing that really slowly. And like it's not polling much on average. I mean, I suppose on average it will be doing that timer thing. So I think I want to go back up here and like somehow get rid of the fact that there's a timer. Well, actually, hmm. And where else do I do this? So handle gets done there when we've read the entire thing, and then we're doing a return to fit. And here we're also doing it when we're getting that one back from a handle read. Um, that just seems like it shouldn't be there in one place or another. So here we should be able to print the old 10,000. It's still like weirdly slow, and the equal average is still low. And we should be checking all that stuff at that point there. And most of the time, we should just have a uh, listener only on that. Like our timer FD gets created after that in main. So yeah, I believe that's looking good. But yeah, it's kind of weirdly slow. And I don't know, not picking up everything. That seems a little weird to me, but I think for now, so I've got nothing in there, and like this is just kind of making it all, I don't know, epolled. I've just added epoll to everything. Maybe like that one and like that one. Add epoll to server. There's also other things that we can do with epoll to make it a little quicker as well. Like have it on one-shot mode and edge triggered as well. So it basically only tells us when there is when it starts being new stuff, and at that point we are responsible for reading everything or writing everything. If we can't read everything or write everything, we will register a new request. Hey, can you wake us up again? And I don't know, from what I've read, that is potentially quicker, but yeah, it's kind of interesting that we're getting slower. We have added like a bunch of status, and I wonder whether I should disable status updates, I guess, and just see if that kind of helps with things. We got a little bit of time, so we could potentially just like pass a status of nothing. Is that kind of what I can do? I think that is what I can do. Um, but we don't really check it here. But how badly do you break? You get a sig fault. So when do we use that? And handle child should kind of do it. Yeah, so I think this is the point that we do it. We don't really want to do this because it dereferences stuff in my status. Perhaps I do something like that. I don't know. It's a little gross. But what we can do with that is now in here we can kind of just do if show status, and then in if and we only need to do that if that is the case. I think I want to just do that, and then when we I don't do that up here, thanks, and then find that one. Yeah, cool. We would just do null at that point. And this would probably be a end of, and then up here we would do something like that. Means we kind of need to set a timer FD. Go this way, thanks. So we would do something like this. Ah, shit. Cool. I think that is kind of a way we can, if, yeah. And that's all we needed. Cool. So now if we do this, we still have a status bar. Cool. That's because we have defined it. So if we don't define it, we don't crash and we don't have a status bar. That's good on me. So perhaps I'll do the same thing for the client, just so we can choose if we have statuses or not. But perhaps this should be uh, uh, allow this to be chosen at running time, and do something like that. And then here where we see, I should call it the wrong thing maybe, because that's the name of the function. So if we are in main, we will have this status. Let's follow this about. So we'd have if def show status, we'll do that. Otherwise, we'll do status equal null. And then here we can do end if. Just because here, if show status, we do that. And because we set it to map failed to start with, right, so if this is the case, yeah, this is good that it actually asks you. Oh, headphones doing things. Cool, and then this one's kind of easy. If def show status, we'll do that. Else, we would do that in and then do something like that. Where else do we use status in here? We check for it. So I feel like that's fine. This we like dereference it. So if def show status, then we want to do all that. And I guess we don't really need to do this def unless we actually want to show the status. And up here we do some things. That's all right because it will be null up here. So I think that's kind of all we need to do up here for that. I guess we can and then this would be if def show status. We would do that and if set but not used. Something like that. Right, we don't even use defer but not defined. Oh, that's no good. That means I have missed like closing thing. Nah, I don't know. Oh, is that kind of secretly telling me a thing? Yeah, so this needs to be like that. So I guess this means be like that. Perfect. Cool. So now we should hopefully get no errors showing on the client, and we are still getting the 1,000 stuff back. What's the one? It's that one. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I wonder why it's so slow. It could be because I'm like streaming and whatnot, and I'm also another change is I put on microphone picker up a voice detection thing, which potentially could be the cause of the slowdown as well. And it's kind of hard to know. I would have thought it would have gone quicker with the e-polling, but it did not. So what I might do is because the logging kind of did do it. It let us do it. We can kind of just include where did I go? Oh, it took me into there. Yeah, I understand. So we can just have both things going and have a nice little status bar. Cool. Why is it slow? Oh, anyway, hopefully this has been interesting. I'll try and work out why it's slow. Might do that off screen, might not. As you can see now, we have ePOL on the server. We don't have it on the client. Perhaps I'll do that. Perhaps it might make a difference. I kind of want to know why we have such a low average. Yeah, it's interesting, but hard to know. It's one of the uses of getting stats is so you can look at them and work out what's wrong with your program. Anyway, enough for that. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, feel free to check out any of the other contents I have. I do a whole range of other stuff, not just like weird networking stuff. And this is probably the least knowledgeable stuff I'm doing at the moment, but it's my little hobby at the moment. Well, thank you. See ya.